All right. Again, during the level load cutscene, you'll want to swap from Cinder to Stealth Elf. Again, with recording and all of that, I can't really do that, but you know, so I'll just do it here instead. I believe Cinder is actually not used. No, Cinder is used at the very end of the run. But we won't be seeing Cinder for quite some time. So to start off the level, you'll want to roll 2 and grab the bunch of rockets. Turn around and roll once to align yourself to aim at the chainsaw tank. The premise of this will be so that you can damage the chainsaw tank during the cutscene. Roll over here, roll up this. Turn around, roll once. Note that the chainsaw tank takes 6 rockets to destroy. And I think each rocket does 50 damage. So during that cutscene, you want to be shooting the rockets. Also during that time, you want to try to count the number of rockets that you're shooting. You don't want to shoot 8 rockets. You don't want to shoot all of them because you want to fire at least one off towards the right, which is an upcoming area with some enemies. So you can fire up to 7 rockets at the chainsaw tank, saving at least 1. So you kind of saw that where I was able to fire off 2 to the right. This allows you to pre-damage and even kill some of the enemies that are over to the right. After that, after shooting off the last of your rockets, you want to double back to grab another bunch of this. Another bunch of the rockets, dubbed rocket smuggling. The idea of this is to save another trip, or to save a trip grabbing a different bunch of rockets at the very end, which takes longer to get, and it also allows you to make use of these rockets to damage. So I'm now smuggling the rockets. You want to roll down the path, attack the wooden barrier once. These tanks are pretty finicky. So what you want to do is you want to walk up the wheels, and then you can roll up the chainsaw. You'll just spam standard attacks to kill all the enemies here. The order of operations is you'll kill this first troll, destroy the wooden barrier, then all the enemies that are back here, and then any remaining enemies. The idea of the rocket from the start of the level is ideally you kill an enemy that's positioned around here so that you can shoot it here, and then you can just come from up here and continue along this without having to roll down, kill an enemy, and then roll back. Next, you want to roll through any of the rotating saw blades and just take the damage. If you're able to squeeze by any of the sections without taking damage, that's obviously preferable. But for the most part, you'll just want to be rolling directly through them, just because it's faster. So I'll just roll through and see what I get. Alright, now I'll explain this. So you just damage boost through, no problem. On these bounce pads, you want to use the B attack to get yourself to each next bounce pad quicker. And by timing it correctly, you not generally, but you can beat the landing to the next pad before the rotating saw blade blocks it. So like this, if I did that slightly faster, like this maybe, let's see. Although this final saw blade is a little bit easier to actually get the bounce because there's so much space. Yeah, so from that first bounce pad at the bottom to the second to the third, you want to use the B attack to get there quickly, and on this one you can use the B attack to jump over it effectively. You want to roll over here until you're able to start attacking the chainsaw tank. And you want to fire off rockets until you have, I think either 1 or 2 left, right? Is this correct? You want to fire off until you have 1 or 2 left, and then you can start rolling. This is to ensure you just get the kill correctly while also having enough time to roll. You can skip the first group of trolls, but the ones on the sort of winding terrain you need to kill, and you just spam standard attacks. You want to dodge grabbing the story scroll. I shouldn't have waited because this will set up differently. Yeah, I'm actually going to do it in a second. You want to avoid this because if you grab it, you get that annoying cutscene. So I'll try to re-show off what you want to do rather than standing around and talking and trying to explain what's going on. So just be careful about that story scroll. With that bridge section right there, because we're able to rocket smuggle, we have sort of this extra set here. What you want to do is you want to fire off 1 rocket towards that group of enemies. You want to roll, or once you roll past the monster gate is when you want to fire off a rocket and keep rolling. This will allow you to get past the trolls with rolling without having to attack them, and this will keep enough rockets for the last chainsaw tank. Again, you want to walk up the wheel because it's weird. Roll along this path up here to the left side. Same deal as earlier. You can use the bounce pads and the B attack to get a little bit better momentum. You do not need to kill these enemies. I just want to off. Use this bounce pad to bounce from this bottom ledge to the top ledge because you get the height, but not the natural distance of just the bounce pad to make it, so you need to use the B attack to help you. In the event that you miss it, you can just roll over here. I block because of the chainsaw, but you can just roll over here. After that, you'll roll towards the chainsaw tank until the cutscene starts, and then you'll fire off your remaining rockets. And then you can skip the cutscene, and then it's destroyed. In the event that this does not get destroyed, you'll want to roll over here, and you'll just use the rockets from here to destroy them. I believe you can also use a B attack to... Yeah, you can use B attacks as well to get up here more quickly, but ideally you don't actually. Also, as a demonstration purpose, you also want to continuously use standard attacks to destroy the mushrooms that are about here, not necessarily all the way here. But about here, you'll want to use your standard attacks to destroy them and the wooden barrier. Also, this is sort of a note that if you try to bring rockets into the Chaos Life Fight, unfortunately you do not keep them. It'd be really interesting if you did. That would be pretty cool. So to start this off, you'll just roll to Zook, and you'll just spam regular attacks, kind of circling around him. He doesn't really do anything, so you're pretty free to just kill him immediately. So now a bit of a note about this fight. So unlike the other elemental chaos fights in this game, this one actually requires more attention to detail during the phases in between killing Shadowlanders. So the water one has the little bit of gameplay with the shark dodging, and the other 2 fights are effectively auto-scrollers. This is the first, really the first fight where you actually have to do things, and it is a lot of damage boosting, so death is a more significant possibility in the event that you're not careful. Something that I'll also note is that every one of the orbs deals 63 damage, so just keep your health in mind and the damage that they deal. So if you're unsure if you need to tank a hit or not, or if you can take a hit, that's 63 damage. You want to roll to the top of the arena, spam standard attacks to destroy the first group of snails. That part's the easy part. Once the snails spread out, what you want to do is you want to move to the left side and kill the first of the left snails. You'll wait for the second left snail. Let me try to rephrase this. So once they're all spread out, like they are now, you can kind of see that they're on the left and right sides respectively. You'll go to the left side, kill the first left snail. Wait for the second left snail to kill it. You'll hesitate a bit, and then you'll spam standard attacks to ensure this third of those snails die as you're moving back to the right, and then you'll spam the standard attacks to kill the rest of the snail. So I'm over to the left. I killed the left snail, and then the last one on the left, and then that's when I start moving over. So that one takes a little bit of practice to get the exact timing for, and pausing in between each step of that is, a little tricky, but, it is what it is. So just try to kind of follow along with the video the best you can. Or if you refer to a, full game run, that might also be a good example, or an IL. And if you're not sure of the optimal timing, you can just wait a little bit for that third snail to spawn before you kill it, and then kill the rest. And that timing will just come down to a feel thing. Now here's a little bit of awkward direction. So I'll need you to imagine a clock. So where 12 o'clock, is the top of the clock, 3 is to the right, and so on. 12, 3, and going around the clock. What you want to do is kill the first snail at the top of the arena, so it's a bit after 12. You'll roll along the right side to around 2 o'clock and take damage from one of the orbs. You'll then kill... Wait, what snail am I talking about? You'll kill the snail that spawns around there. You'll then roll to the top of the arena again to kill the next snail, so it's a bit after 12. And then you'll roll to and kill the last snail, which is a bit before 9. So I kill the snail that's at about 2 o'clock, or 12 o'clock. I'm at 2 o'clock and I take damage. I kill that snail. I roll to the snail that's a bit before 12, and then to the snail that's a bit before 9. So, talking while also doing that made it a little more sloppy, but just think 12 to 12, 9 is kind of the rough positions that you want to be sort of along the arena as if it were a clock. When you gain control after Stealth Elf spawns, you want to roll up once, and then you want to roll up and very slightly left once. And then want to walk slightly to the left to dodge her sprint attack. And then once she's near you, you want to spam your standard attacks and then follow to kill her. If you get hit, you won't be able to deal enough damage to kill her before she teleports. So I'm rolling a bit to the left, blocking, and then spamming standard attacks to kill her as I mess it up. I'll need to put in a clip of doing that exactly optimally, but that's the idea. You don't want to get hit there. I just was not facing the right way. I guess talking while doing that messed me up, but that's sort of the idea. You want to roll left, walk a bit so that she just barely misses you, and then spam your attacks and follow to go into her to kill her. After that, you want to roll to the top of the arena, and then like before, you're gonna move. You're gonna start with the whatever snails are at the top, and then you want to continuously attack moving to the left. Once the third wave of snails spawn, you'll want to kill the leftmost snail and then make your way back to the right. So I think that's the second, and then that's the third. A little bit like that. Unfortunately, I did not take notes about this part, or don't have exact notes. This is a pretty significant damage boost. You're going to be taking a lot of damage here. So just as a general note of how this fight works with its phases, is it won't progress to the next stage of the phase until all of the orbs and or snails are destroyed. So the idea with the damage boost is you're destroying the orbs by taking damage from them, and that will then spawn the next wave of the fight. Or it'll start the next part of a phase. So here, a lot of orbs are going to be spiraling in towards the center. And what you want to do is you want to wait for essentially all of the orbs to be present / on screen. and then you want to roll to the center of the spiral where they all sort of come together and take damage on most / all of the individual arcs simultaneously. So if you look on the right, for example, you can see that it's kind of arcing around like this. How do I do this in like, how do I make this look good on a camera? Like this? I know what that looks like this. So it's like kind of arcing around. You want to get hit by each of those arcs kind of at the same time, rather than getting hit by one, then one, then one, then one. If you get hit by all of them at once, it'll overlap some of the damage. And you want to wait for most of the orbs to be on the screen. So like most of it's here. I might wait a bit longer. The exact timing and setup that I have for this really just comes down to feel. This is something that I've done enough to where it's hard to articulate what exactly I do. But once most of the orbs are on screen, then that's when I roll in and get hit by all of them sort of at once. And you notice that I took a bunch of damage, but because I was able to overlap some of it, I ain't not dead. I don't think you are able to die to this unless you do it totally wrong. But it destroys all of those arcs at the same time and will allow the next phase to start as well. You'll generally be around the 150 range when it comes to your health after doing this. If you get most of the arcs and there's one remaining, you need to destroy that other arc as well, even if it means taking more damage. That is, unless you were to die to it, then I don't think dying is optimal. It might be optimal to die and swap to a backup. I don't know. I actually don't know what exactly you do if you're that close to death, but generally it doesn't happen. If you want to play it safe, you can also just, not take the damage at all and just wait for that thing to expire. Also note that generally food will spawn in the center immediately after that part, so you'll generally get your health back pretty quickly. As these orbs are circling in, you'll want to damage boost on the 3rd and the 4th arcs out of 4. This means this allows you to skip waiting for them as they approach the center, because they get destroyed in the center, but if you destroy them yourself, then it goes to the next part. If you don't have enough health to survive damage boosting on both of them, only take damage on the 4th, because it'll take longer for the 4th to get to the center than the 3rd. So if you have to only do one, take the 4th, and then it'll be less time loss. Obviously dying is bad. If you were to otherwise die doing this, don't. Now note that the exact point at which you get hit matters very slightly, since the arc gets destroyed going in both directions from the point of contact. And I'll kind of explain what that looks like when I do it. Well, it doesn't matter for the 3rd arc, since you have to wait for the 4th. On the 4th, you want to get hit as close to the center of the arc as possible, so that's around 9 o'clock or directly to the left. And this means you'll end up waiting the least amount of time as possible to wait for the arc to get destroyed. The difference is minimal, but it is there. I'll try to include a comparison of what that looks like later, but time to actually demonstrate it. So the first ring comes around, the second ring comes around, the third one you want to tank, and then the 4th one you want to tank about there. Now you'll notice sort of the top and the bottom arcs are going to get destroyed. Actually, I did it perfectly at the exact same time. This means that they are... you have to wait the least amount of time for this next section to start. At this point, these circle in. This will do 3 loops around, and the last snail spawns in around 10 o'clock. Somewhere. Then you'll attack Stump Smash just like you did for Zook. If you get hit by that attack, just shake it off. But yeah, you want to circle around to multiple others. Now thankfully this last section of the fight is an auto-scroller, assuming you don't get hit. So unlike every other section where you wanted to take damage to do things a bit quicker, this one you don't want to get hit at all. For this, you just want to take clockwise circles going around the center of the arena, and as the phase progresses, you want to take tighter and tighter circles as. Also, food generally spawns in the arena at this point, so you might be able to snag some food if you're either standing in the right spot or you can sort of move your way into it. So as this progresses, more and more orbs will spawn. You just want to keep taking tighter and tighter circles. Stay around the center. And then, like Chapter 7, we want to go for a double unload. I wanted to pause to make sure the audio is actually playing. I thought it was, but whatever. Like Chapter 7, we want to go for a double unload. Again, there'll probably be a tutorial on how to do those more optimally in the future, but this is the first shot at it. What I try to do is I try to roll once and then continuously attack, but not killing Stealth Elf immediately because she has reduced health. Then I want to focus the damage on Stump Smash and Zook while Stealth Elf teleports. Once one of them dies, can keep attacking and direct your attack towards trying to overlap them. So I do a similar roll to the start, and I just spam regular attacks. This is going to be a really bad setup because I got that. Yeah, this is bad. But you want to go for it, just like the others. Ideally, that goes better, but again, I don't have a perfect setup for this. A better tutorial in the future. So I'll try to have a demonstration of what that looks like when done optimally as well. But anyway, you'll collect the life source to complete the level. Oh my god, that level took 24 minutes. Oh, that's it for Chapter 11.
Les Skylanders liés à la tech sont plus puissants ici. Utilise les roquettes pour détruire ces horribles coupeurs. Les Skylanders liés à la nuit sont plus puissants ici. Tu dois trouver des... Ça va faire boum!
J'avance à pas gâcher. Tu le vois pas.